What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Shift Talking. This week, unfortunately, neither Marley nor Max could make it. Max had to work late, and Marley is dealing with some strep throat. Not to put her business out on the street, but I just did so anyway, so that's that. This is George. George is... Some of you might know him as Zombie 5.0.
Right.
I think the best way to describe George is the originator of the zombie wrap on the Mustang.
Yeah.
Zombie print theme on the Mustang. You've
Just
seen it.
Anywhere.
I know you've seen it. So if you ever hear about any Camaro or any Challenger talking about anything being the first ones to do this, that is incorrect. That was all George. When was that? Like September of 2016?
It was before I got it done, like the day before Ponies in the Pike, when we all started like hanging out and whatnot. So it was a year in the process to get it, made. I was thinking in my head, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta do it. I gotta fucking go crazy." And done.
And it was cool. I think that was probably
dead inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite rap you've ever done.
Until the cops started, pulling me over.
Well, the reason why I bring up your rap is because in this episode I thought it'd be really interesting because my car is currently getting wrapped too. Thank you. To talk about wrap versus paint and which one is better, pros and cons to both, maybe some other opinions that we might have.
And then, so what do you mean by paint? Are you talking just maintaining paint, or like ceramic pro, ceramic coating?
So when I thought of the topic, I thought maybe we can talk about like if you're gonna do just a color change on your vehicle, paint versus wrap, which might be better and why. That's kind of the generalization that I thought. But maintenance and maintaining paint versus wrap could be one of the things that we discussed too.
Yeah.
So I think we should start off with your point, AJ. So we'll go off with what you think is, or your thoughts on paint versus wraps, and then since I'm wrapped and Danny's getting wrapped, then we can go after.
I think wrap is a good idea because it gives you so many options to do with your car. So I mean, you can change the color of your car, you can do a zombie wrap, you can do almost anything with a wrap, but it serves as another function besides looks. It also helps protect your vehicle as long as you get it done right. You always hear these horror stories about people removing the wrap to change it up, and it's a mess. It just damages their paint and all that. So I think the wrap is really good. I mean, paint looks good, but it's a lot of maintenance, and it's you're spending a lot of money throughout the year, especially in the summertime when you're always washing your car. Yeah. And you don't get that protection unless you ceramic pro. Keep on saying ceramic pro. I don't work for them.
We're not sponsored.
Yeah, I'm not sponsored. It's ceramic coating. And so if you ceramic coat your car, there's a lot of maintenance, and there's a lot, people don't realize that once you ceramic coat your car, that you actually spend more money in maintenance for the ceramic coating. So it's a big hassle versus a wrap. You just pressure wash it and towel it down, and you're done. At least that's what I see with my friends with their wrap cars. I get jealous of how easy it is to maintain a nice wrap job.
Yeah, so to touch upon, like you're talking about like when paint comes off, because I had that issue as well with my hood, but because it's aftermarket and I got it painted, I noticed that's the only parts that were chipping away. But as for like the OEM paint, the original stuff, no issues there. So if your car has been painted in the past, like just repaint it, you may run into issues like that. Or if you go with cheap ass wraps. If you get cheap ass wraps, from what I've seen is they do peel off paint for whatever reason, and when you do peel off the wrap, a lot of the residue stays behind. So you definitely want to go with some premium wraps.
Yeah, especially if they use that. I know some guys, they have a special adhesive that they use around certain corners and body lines of the car because to keep it down. What do you think, Max? Oh, sorry, Max isn't here right now. Because he's wrapped his car multiple times in the tent, and he's not here right now. But he's a little quiet.
I think that from my opinion, I think that there's a certain culture that I think benefits from paint versus benefiting from a wrap. Like if you're just doing a single solid color change, the wrap is probably going to be the easiest, most efficient, cost effective, and easiest to maintain sort of solution. But like, for example, you never see a wrapped lowrider. You know what I mean? Like those guys go hard in the paint, literally.
Yeah.
Fuck, they're using lead still.
Yeah.
Or God knows what.
Like that's a culture, a subculture within the car community that I think you'll never see them ever wrap their cars, because the whole thing is to do paint, and then you only see one of each. That's probably why they do paint, is because if somebody else does something similar, it's a straight up copycat.
Yeah.
You know, there's no sort of duplicate. No two lowriders are ever the same. Everybody's a little bit different. In terms of wraps, I mean, how often have we seen duplicates? You know, even in just color or same make and model that also, you know, I mean, come on.
All the time.
Well, and then the other thing is it's inexpensive now. Back in the day, wrap used to cost just as much as a paint job.
Yeah.
Now it's pretty, you know, everybody can do it now versus a paint job. You get a custom paint job, you know, you could spend, you know, $7,000 to 10, 20,
even
20
wraps
grand.
themselves get really pricey depending on what you want too. So like if you want a basic color change, depending on who you go with, I mean, I seen lowest as $1,000, but at that point is you're paying for what you get for at that point.
Yeah.
And then like you want something like mine, the zombie wrap, I mean, you have to print that onto the wrap itself. You have to have someone design it. So there's a lot of man hours that goes into it, and the price just goes up from there.
Yeah.
So like that wrap itself was a $6,000-$7,000 wrap itself. So it just depends on what you want.
And that's kind of the tricky part, you know, because when I was looking into wrapping my car, by the time this episode goes out, my car would have just been finished being wrapped. And we'll do the unveiling. Today is Friday. We'll do the unveiling probably Tuesday. So I'm not going to tell you what color I did it just quite yet. But where was I going with this?
Yeah, where were we going with
I don't
this?
know.
You're gonna unveil it. You're talking, I don't know.
We were talking about.
I think you just wanted to talk about unveiling your car because you're super excited.
I am excited,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, there was something that I wanted to bring up with the wrap. Oh, so the color change, the color that I picked, that's what I wanted to talk about. Because originally it was going to be a different color. It was going to be a specialized chrome color. When I was looking at the cost of material, I was looking at about $6,000 in just material alone,
Yeah.
not including labor. So some of those wraps do get expensive, and that was just a color change. That wasn't any sort of embossing. That wasn't any sort of texture or pattern or anything. That was just a solid color change.
Yeah. So
But the
very
material,
expensive.
because it's a metallic, like a physically illuminated metallic material, whatever they call it, not illuminated like it lights up, but like aluminum
Like
type
reflective.
of reflective type of thing. It's just money.
And I think the other thing is too, nowadays, a lot of people incorporate both. So they'll have their OEM paint job and, you know, they'll wrap the roof, they'll wrap the hood, bumper, you know.
Mirrors.
Yeah. You know, so there's a lot of customization that you can do with partial wraps with paint, you know. So there's so much you can do now, you know, versus if no one just has a basic, if your car's naked, I call them naked cars, you know, just a solid OEM paint job. To me, that's just naked. There's no customization. There's nothing, you know. And now sometimes that is the look, you know, because that car has nothing done to it, you know. So now that kind of looks clean, you know. So
For a while until you get that mod fever and
Yeah.
you're like, just gotta buy.
Well, that just depends on who you hang out with.
yeah, once you do the roof line, that's it, you know, or the mirrors, and then this, and oh, let's put stripes, let's do this. You
So I'm
know?
like, I'm just gonna buy an intake, and you know, I was gonna leave it stock, and then you're like, $12,000 in, you're like, what the fuck did I just do?
Well, dude, that's how I started too. Because I remember when I first got my car, I wasn't gonna touch it. I remember I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. A year later, I touched the fuck out of that.
Now you're drilling holes in your trunk.
Oh, you
Yeah.
fucking savage! Oh my god, I was scared. I was like, oh my god,
You know
anxiety
what?
attack.
Benny is such a
Trooper.
not even just a trooper. He is such a like
Special.
special. Like,
He's just special.
Dude, I was watching his hands. He has like the surgical hands. He was like, oh my dude, I'll be shaking. He was just like,
Not just that, but just how his mind works and how he can think of stuff on the spot. It's probably just years of experience of him doing it. But like for me, like I remember he did the cardboard template to get the actual spoiler lined up properly with the trunk to fix manufacturing issues. I would never have thought of even looking at that. You know, I know you're supposed to, but
And if you guys have questions about that video that we're talking about, you can check it out on the engine base.
Well,
so
shameless plug. Yeah, I like that.
Because people don't know what we're talking about if they're just watching this.
That's true. We'll go
so you gotta hit the link on that to see what we're talking about.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah.
I don't know where you put it at.
Did you help with that, Mac? Oh, you didn't help.
Damn, AJ's on a roll right now. Oh, but pros and cons to wrap versus paint. I think that's another thing we should bring up. So I know you're pro paint, and one thing I miss is being able to wax my car. Because I have a matte wrap now, I can't do that no more. I used to like miss Sunday mornings, going out early in the morning, cold as shit, but washing the car, clay barring it, waxing, just seeing that shine, I miss it. But I love the fact that I don't have to be out there early in the morning just to make it look nice. I just gotta hose that bitch down, wipe her, and then done deal.
No, paint obviously is the best, but it looks the best right after you waxed your car or you know you detailed it, you know, and that's it. But like a wrap, it doesn't look as nice. I agree, but you have the customization of it, you know. So you know, if you're one of those guys that keeps your car in the garage all the time, you know, you can go ahead and have that paint job and keep it looking nice and fresh. But if you're driving your car like you guys do a lot, a wrap is a good decision, you know, especially daily drivers, you know, you can do that. Because I know a lot of the guys that do daily driving, they just have paint. They spend a lot of money on detail. They spend a lot of money on guys like Max, you know, this guy. They spend a lot of money on him, the chemicals, you know, all kinds of stuff, you know. So, but, you know, it's what you want to do.
So what's your thoughts on it, Papa?
I think for me, wraps, the pros about wraps are just it's just overall easier to maintain, less money spent on product, less time spent on detailing and cleaning it. But it also, in my opinion though, there's just something about a wrap that's just not as good as a painted color and clear coat. It could just be the finish, you know, because a wrap, if you have aftermarket body parts on your car, the wrap will show it. Granted, paint will too. But at least with paint, it's like
it's more seamless.
Yeah, it's more seamless. With a wrap, it's like obvious that you have waves there, or you have citrus peel, or whatever, you know, paint defects or manufacturing defects came.
And people have that illusion too that wrap hides things. No. It shows everything. So if you want to wrap your car, you still have to do paint protection beforehand. You have to, you know, make sure you don't have no divots, no, you know, make sure that paint's nice and smooth. Even probably get it clayed right before, take all the wax off, then you wrap the car. So it shows every little thing. So even a satin wrap will show.
I think especially a satin wrap, because there is no reflective. So it's like, you know, it's gonna show everything. Oh man, but you know what? I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. I'm excited. I'm nervous. It's not that far off of, in terms of my car, it's not that far off of what it is now, which is yellow, but it's just, think of it from the opposite side of the color wheel. That's all.
It's gonna be a different car. Different car.
It's gonna feel like a brand new girl, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm cheating on her.
And you know what Marley said? She said that she gives me like 4 6 months and then I'll get bored of it.
We'll see.